All right, well, why don't we go ahead and get started? Looks like we have a few participants online. I imagine some others might join us as we get going. But hello, everyone, and welcome to the Washington Waldorf School. My name is Drew. I'm the enrollment director here. We're going to do a quick sneak peek of our high school today. But I do want to emphasize that this is a sneak peek. It really is just a quick peek into the high school. And very much hope that you will, after this virtual tour, sign up for one of our in-person tours, in which you really get to see the school in much more in depth and really get to experience what the environment is like fully for yourself and for your student. Our next tour is actually full on November 14th, but we do have an open house this coming Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., which is a fantastic way for both students and parents to get to know our school and get a feel for our teaching environment. Our teachers will be doing demonstrations, and it's a really nice way to sort of see how our curriculum works. So we're going to go ahead and get started and pop into our school right now. So we'll walk through our entrance here. I'm going to turn around camera. Our beautiful entrance hallway here, which was redesigned in 2015. And right away here in the entrance hall, I think you'll notice a couple of things about our school right off the bat. One is it's just a really beautiful and relaxing environment. We've got these big windows, and you'll see these in other classrooms as well, letting in lots of natural light, connection in nature, and a sort of being in an environment that is beautiful and relaxing is very important to us. And that is because that is how students learn best, really. One of the other things you'll notice, well, right here, we've got our a unique feature right now, our ofrenda, which was set up by our Spanish teacher and our sixth graders. And the whole community was welcome to bring in pictures of loved ones, or other mementos of loved ones who have passed on, and in celebration of Dia de los Muertos and our Spanish program as well. Throughout the whole building, you're going to see a whole lot of artwork. So these right here are 10th grade weavings that are hung up in our hallways. You'll see maybe off in the distance there, 9th grade mosaic work. And we'll see a lot more artwork in the halls as we go through as well. That is not because we are an art school. Here behind the Dia de los Muertos flags, we've got some stone sculptures, which are senior project work. And this is not because we are an art school. We do have students who go on to art programs after graduating from our high school. But really, it is because art is something that we believe is in all of us, and all of us should have a capacity for learning and expressing. And because art is practicing art regularly is a really important means of building your observation skills. And that's something that is foundational to learning, of course, is just sort of making sense of what is in front of you, knowing what is in front of you, and then being able to think about that critically, and then being able to create something from that. So we want our students to be able to think creatively, to understand what is in front of them, to use their own observational skills to build their understanding of the world, and to then create things of beauty from them, like this 9th grade mosaic work. I'm actually going to back up really quickly because I realized I forgot to show off excuse me, Janet, show our, just as means of quick orientation, down here is our early childhood hallway. So those are our preschool and kindergarten programs. Straight ahead of us, we've got our high school hallway, which is where we're going to be heading. And then off to the right here is our lower school hallway. So we really are a pre-K through grade 12 school. We were just recently ranked by Niche, the online private school search website for parents. We were ranked the #2 K through 12 private school in Montgomery County. We were ranked top 5% of high schools in the nation. But that K through 12 part is really significant to us because that is something that is really important to us. We really are a fully fledged community of students from every age. And that is a really important piece for us. We connect the students throughout the years in several different ways intentionally, and then just in small ways as well. And it gives the older students a sense of responsibility, a sense of belonging in this community. And the younger students have really terrific examples of older kids to look up to. So we're going down our high school hallway now. We're passing through the kitchen where we can see our chef team hard at work. Wednesday is pizza day. You can see a sample of our menu. We had parent-teacher conferences earlier this week, so a truncated school menu this week. But it's a very diverse group of foods. We source about 70 to 80% of our vegetables come locally from farms using sustainable practices here in Maryland. The food is vegetable forward. It is delicious. It is sometimes adventurous, and really just a wonderful example of how the ethos of this community really pervades every aspect of not only our curriculum, but just our culture and the way that we operate as a school. So here you can see these are 10th grade works of art. These are prints done in a Japanese printmaking style. Students were doing self-portraits. I will note that several of the works of art that you're seeing here from students are done by students who joined in middle or high school. So, you know, everyone is able to create this level of artwork at our school. And as I said before, here's our college board, and you can see these are schools where our students were accepted and ultimately matriculated and enrolled in the last 3 years. And you can see every kind of college and university is on here. As I said before, we're not necessarily producing students who are going to be professional artists, but they will be artists in whatever profession they choose to pursue later. You can maybe hear our jazz band making quite a bit of noise behind me. We will go in and peek in to see what they're up to right now. Our jazz band's in a break right now, doing a bit of improvisation, having a bit of fun. We go through our auditorium here quickly, where we get to see the high school choir also artwork. So obviously we're in a music elective right now. We peek in and see our guitar group also hard at work. High school students, music is also a part of everyone's week here at the school. Music, movement, art, none of those are extracurricular for our program. They are all integrated into the curriculum. They're an essential part of learning for us, and really part of being a human being. So we want all of our students to have some experience in and capacity in all of these abilities. You can see more mosaic work up here. So some of this, I mean, these mosaics are permanently installed in our building. They're going to live there forever. We want to show off our students' work and really, when we can, make it a part of the building. Again, really helping them sort of gain a sense of belonging here, a sense that this is their community, and they, you know, that comes with sort of rights and responsibilities and privileges as well, and that we are proud of the work that they do, and they should also be proud of that work. We're going now into our gymnasium, which is brand new, just opened 2 years ago, and is a fantastic space, obviously, for hosting home basketball games, but also for having community events. This is a great space for us to have large events. We like to do things outside when and if we can, but sometimes that's just not feasible. And this coming November 22nd, I am pretty sure it is the Saturday of Thanksgiving, so you can check my, or sorry, Saturday before Thanksgiving, so you can check my date if you would like. There is a fall bazaar in which our whole school is turned into a sort of fall carnival. It's a super fun event, and this space will be filled with 40 artisan vendors selling all kinds of cool wares. But the gym is normally used, obviously, for movement classes, which are a part of every week in the high school, and also for after-school athletics. So we have soccer in the fall and cross country in the fall as well, basketball in the winter, and baseball and track and field in the spring. We do have an athletics requirement for our high schoolers, and that is because we really want them to still be pursuing movement, using their physical bodies, building some athletic capacity. We don't expect, just like as with our art program, we don't expect everyone to become a professional artist. We don't expect everyone to become a professional athlete, but sometimes they do. We had someone who graduated, went to BU and did Division I soccer, and was just earlier this year drafted onto a, I think it was a Dutch professional soccer team. So you can see sometimes we do, we do claim trophies. Sometimes our program, our athletics program does win and becomes champions. And that's really exciting when that happens. But ultimately, it is not the point of our athletics program. We are cultivating a healthy sense of competition for our students, and encouraging them to push themselves, but not, sort of gain an unhealthy sense of competition. We can take a quick peek into our library here. Ms. Baker, thanks. Thank you. Which is a lovely space just for a quiet space to retreat to. You can see it is still filled with real books, and also provides a nice view out here to some of the land out here. We can see our one of our 3-year-olds classes down there, having a nice time outside, a nice little break outside. And this is just a nice way to see that there is plenty of space here for all of our students to use. We encourage them to get outside as much as possible, and really, use all of the space that we have here. The library is also a good time to talk about technology, because you can see that it is not a multimedia center. It is still filled with real books. They still do check books out by hand. And that is because that is in keeping with our ethos of being what we call a slow tech school. So we have a technology curriculum in high school. The students learn. We have a coding intensive course that is available to students. I may lose you for a moment here as the Wi-Fi switches, so please bear with me. But I have 2 of our teachers here in our science room. So before we get to the humans, I'll just quickly showcase some of our zoology work in 10th grade. 10th grade. So again, you can see art is still a part of the curriculum. We can see here some posters from a 9th grade geology block, I believe, and a 11th grade botany block. And then some more zoology chalk work up there done by our students after they were out in a living classroom out at, where was it? Cape Henlopen, right? Mm-hmm. Cape Henlopen. Okay, thank you. So here we are in our science room now. We're coming to the Q&A portion of our tour. Let's see if we can get set up so we can get everybody in the shot here. I am here joined by Mr. Davini and Miss Summer Renault Steele. And we are happy to take questions, Tarina, from any of the audience members here. We'll give you 2 this microphone to pass. Okay. Thank you. All right, Tarina.
Hello. Hi, can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, well, we have a couple questions here. The first one is about math and science, and someone is asking, what does a high-level math and or science class look like in the high school?
Well, most of our sciences, not all of them, but many of them are done through the main lessons, those 1.5-hour periods at the beginning of each day. We've got physics main lessons every year, chemistry, biology, the zoology mentioned before. And overall, we focus on an experiential-based approach to science. So the experiment first, observations first. Just today, I started a course with the 11th grade on electricity and magnetism. And just approaching the very fundamentals of electricity and magnetism, we went through some experiments that determined, here's what we can call an electric charge. Here's how we can determine there are two charges, how we know like charges repel, how we know opposite charges attract. So running through experiments, taking these observations and having the students, through guided discussion, come to those understandings of those concepts. And as we go through the block, we'll be doing increasingly complex experiments or increasingly complex concepts. For math, we have math main lessons as well, but we also have the math track classes that meet all year, 4 days a week. And those we tend to have split between the regular and the honors track. The honors track, especially, does a lot of independent learning in terms of, here's a problem we have, let's play around with concepts you know, tools you have, and how we can approach it. We have the students derive a lot of the formulas that they will then be using. Early on in high school and in middle school, they derive the quadratic formula, for example. Before they use it, they go through the process of figuring it out first, so that it's not just a, here's a weird looking equation that you can use. They have the context for it. And working with the seniors now in honors calculus, we've gone through and derived, say, the product rule for taking derivatives, the chain rule for derivatives. Combining those together allows us to derive the quotient rule for derivatives, and going from there. We want them to have an understanding of where these things come from, so they have a better understanding of how they can be applied.
Thank you. That makes perfect sense. I have another question here. So, well, two questions. Someone's asking about like a JV style team for basketball in high school. For example, if a student is still new to a game, is there a way for them to play? Which I think Drew mentioned a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I'm happy to have this one. Okay, thank you. I'm happy to answer that question. So we, all of our sports, we do not make any cuts to our teams. Everyone is welcome to play on the team. And that is an important part of our ethos as well. I think we want to welcome everyone in, no matter what stage they are in, and really build them up and build up their skills. So we typically only have one basketball team. It is most often a varsity team that plays with other, against other varsity schools who are, other varsity teams at other small independent schools in the area. However, every year we assess sort of where our students are, what is really going to serve them best, and what is going to help sort of find that right balance of pushing the challenge, but also not sort of going beyond their comfort zone, and really not going beyond what they may be capable of at that point in time. So I do believe this year we have a JV basketball team. And actually, I was talking to our coach. He's kind of straddling JV and varsity. So they're going to be on a JV schedule, but also have a couple of varsity games. So they have that opportunity to really kind of stretch themselves and really push into a new area. But in general, everyone's welcome to play, and we really want everyone to play. I think there's a fair amount of peer pressure among the students to bring everybody on the team, because they want to hang out, they want to be together, they want to be playing together.
In the 9th through 12th grade, we have an athletic requirement. So students must be on at least one of the teams, either cross country, soccer, or basketball. And it can be all three if they want to.
Yeah.
Thank you. One more question. In high school, are there any opportunities for like a digital storytelling class, or maybe an elective for after school, like a club for like video editing or digital storytelling?
Do you want to take that one first,
Okay.
Summer?
That's a really great idea. There's certainly some work. So I teach English literature and classes in philosophy. One of the main lessons I'll be leading this year is in ethics and AI. And we'll be playing a little bit with some digital technology as part of our ethical analysis of AI. And there will be lots of opportunities for students to generate their own creative projects and to do presentations. And this sounds like a wonderful idea that I might crib this idea. But this sounds like a great thing that would certainly be welcome in a main lesson like that. I embrace a lot of interdisciplinary work, and if a student is motivated and wants to do something creative and integrate that with our course material, I'm 100% behind it.
Yeah. And I would say in general, I mean, after school clubs are they're a student initiative, student-led initiative. So when those kinds of ideas are alive in our student body and there's enthusiasm behind them, there is an opportunity to connect with a teacher, form a club, and figure out then what that curriculum is going to look like. We also have these new courses, afternoon intensives, which there is also some sort of ability to be responsive to, I think, sort of the student interest, parent interest, and what is sort of active in our community as well, if there are people in our community who have expertise that we can draw from. But yeah, so I know Mr. Davini had a D&D club last year that you ran, which was a big hit. Yeah, anything else to say about clubs and your experience at the high school?
Well, we might get that one started again coming up at some point. There are the student initiative clubs. We have one starting today, was a QSA, a Queer Straight Alliance. They made a proposal for what the club would entail. They'll be making zines and having discussions in the club, meeting during lunchtimes. After school clubs can also be possible as well. And the intensives, those are the graded courses in the afternoons, are also an option for student choice. And as you said, what's offered can vary from year to year based on student desire, faculty interest. Sometimes someone comes forward with like, I have this idea, I want to offer it. And if students are interested, it can run. Is there another aspect to that?
I don't know. I think that mostly covers it. Are there any other questions, Trina?
Yeah, we have two more, I think, until 12:30. So, switching gears a little bit, somebody wanted to know, does WWS support students with ADHD through a student support team?
So a student support team could entail our educational support specialist, the student's individual advisor, and the upper school chairs. They could be considered part of that educational support team, as well as all of the other teachers that are getting to know them. If a student receives testing and recommendations from the testers, then we take a look through those recommendations and determine what sort of accommodations make sense for that student within our curriculum. And that's shared with the teachers so that they can make those adjustments for that individual student throughout their classes.
Thank you. And finally, I think we just wanted to recap a little bit about what the open house will be like this weekend. Somebody wanted to know kind of what to expect.
Sure. Yeah. So, yes, so the open house this weekend is from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. We'll do a quick tour of the school just to sort of showcase the spaces and make sure that everyone is oriented there. And the main bulk of it will be teaching demonstrations. So Mr. Davini actually will be doing a demonstration. I don't know what you're going to be doing. Do you want to preview before? Do you know what you'll be doing yet?
I have a few options I'm floating around in my mind that I'll narrow down by then.
Yeah. All right. Fantastic. But the teachers, so students and parents will have the opportunity to sit down with in our classrooms, really get a sense of how classes are taught here, how our curriculum operates, how our teachers work with students. And those will run for about 20 minutes. So you have an opportunity to do 2 or maybe 3 of them. And then we'll have a Q&A with some teachers and our head of school as well. So another opportunity to ask questions and dive in deep to the issues of most importance to you. So it's a really great opportunity to really get a sense for how our school operates and what our community is like.
Thank you. And actually, we have one last question that just popped up.
Okay, great. We've got time.
Somebody wanted to know, what is the difference between the intensives and the main lessons? And
Mm,
is there any academic differentiation amongst students?
mm. Good question.
Main lessons are always taught to an entire grade. So the 11th grade altogether is just starting electricity and magnetism with me for this month. And they cycle through about every 4 weeks. So 9 different main lessons for each grade throughout the year. Intensives are done on a quarterly basis. Some of them go through a whole semester, and those are open to different grades to join all together. Some of them are only 11th and 12th grade, some of the more advanced STEM courses, but many of them are available for 9th through 12th grade to opt into. And those are elective based. So the students will choose which courses they want to go into. And cross grade, like I mentioned. Anything else you want to add?
No, I think you got it right. So the main lesson, the morning lesson, that part everybody's partaking in, and then the intensives are elective, and they change from year to year based on student interest and faculty expertise, like you said. So I think that's the critical main difference. And then yeah, the opportunity to mingle between the grades, that's happening in the intensives, and then main lesson is mostly within the grade. But those are the key differences, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, and similarities are both are sort of taught in a block style, so there's a lot of opportunity to really dig in depth to the material. Main lessons are certainly like interdisciplinary. There's kind of a multivariate approach into the academic material. I don't know if the same is true for intensives, but I imagine
Potentially.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, there is a real with both. There's a real opportunity to get in deep into those subjects and a lot of interaction with the teachers as well. So there's smaller class sizes, and you're really getting a chance to really work with experts in this material. Wonderful. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. If you have more questions, you are welcome to email us at enrollment@washingtonwaldorf.org. Happy to set up a call or have any other conversations to answer other questions as they may come up. And I very much hope to see you either at our open house this Saturday or at an upcoming tour. You can find those all in Ravenna. And again, if you have trouble with Ravenna or don't want to mess with it or whatever, just email us at enrollment@washingtonwaldorf.org. Thank you very much for joining us. Have a wonderful rest of your day.